on this week's episode of the Healing Diaries.
I woke up like this. I woke up like this. Baby, I was like, By the time that thing was done, y'all, I really feel like a man mentoring his wife is weird. But sometimes it feels like you're being like, you can't holler at me. And it's like, I didn't mean, that wasn't my intention. Just kept saying, I don't have a job right now. I don't have a job right now. And it's just like, get a fucking job.
Love. Miss Independent, I be loving how you winning. I just wanna go catch your vibe. Ay, wanna see you in the daytime and not when it only get dark outside. Ay, type of love I can't hide. Ay, maybe wanna blow your line. Ay, you dope finna slow your line. Ay, I never wanna blow your high. Baby, what's on your mind?
Hey y'all. Look, I just washed my hair this morning and just like went with it, y'all, because I had it in a bun. I had it in a bun with a head wrap on for Miss Brooklyn's recital, y'all. But that bun just don't be looking good on my content for hot yoga. So we got it out today, but we got a hair bow today. We got a hair bow, so I'm not looking crazy when I leave. I'm already looking a little crazy, but you know, I be letting her do her, y'all. That's one thing. When I started the natural journey, it was a struggle because I wasn't letting her do her. But I let her do her now. And I just be like, all right, that's what we doing today? Cool, sis. Cool. So, y'all, I wanted to talk to y'all about just something that I'm like, I don't want to say healing through, but sorting through in my mind business-wise. So, if you're new here or you aren't abreast by now, my name is Ebony. I'm the owner of the Vibe Collection. It is a online spiritual brand that specializes in crystal waist beads and anklets, but we also sell like sage, Florida water, Palo Santo, abalone shells, etc. Right? So most of my sales are waist beads, right? We're known for that. And I've noticed like the waist bead business is a very gatekeeping energy business. And when I say that, I mean like they're very gatekeeping. Like if you ain't black, you shouldn't be wearing waist beads, right? Now we know culturally, from a cultural standpoint, waist beads did derive from Africa. Right, we get that. Let's just imagine how many other things derive from Africa that the world is partaking in. But nonetheless, I'm not on either side here. Like I completely understand what's for us is for us, right? And being 100% honest, I don't know that I would, if I was a Caucasian woman, be comfortable with it because of the gatekeeping energy behind it. With that being said, from a business standpoint, obviously I can't vet every customer and be like, are you black or are you white, right? Like, let's keep it a buck. That is tacky. And I just would never do that. Now, when it comes to marketing my business, I market my business to African American women. I market my YouTube healing channel to African American women. But I'm speaking to women as a whole, right? So if a woman of another nationality comes over here and she connects with me and my message and it's helping her, then by all means, sis, welcome. However, let me tell you guys how I have been handling it thus far. So every now and then I will get an item ordered, and I won't know. Here's the crazy part. It actually may have been more than I actually know of. But one thing for sure is I've noticed when women of other nationalities purchase waist beads from me, they post me in their stories and they tag me. The amount of black women that I sell to, they're not as supportive in that regard, right? Don't have to. You paid your money for your item. It's not necessary. But those who have small businesses understand the extent of having that social proof. You know what I'm saying? Having people refer you, having people post your stuff that they bought from you. Like, that stuff matters. And I do notice that every time it seems someone of another nationality purchase from me, they do that. So it's a little disappointing, because I'll share it in my stories, because I don't want to be rude, and I appreciate not only the purchase, but I also appreciate the support of posting me. But I don't post them on my main feed, because I just don't want them to be attacked, and I don't want my business page to be a source of contention or a place where people are coming and attacking each other. Like, we're good vibes over here, right? So to avoid that from happening, I just don't post them on my main page. I'll just repost it in my stories. But yeah, I'm just feeling really conflicted behind it, because like I said, I understand the cultural aspect about it, and us wanting to keep something for us. But I'm also thinking about the business side of things, and how I know for a fact I can't vet people. I can't say for blacks only. I can't say no, I'm gonna refund you your money. Like, I can't do that stuff. And so, I don't know, y'all. I mean, I will probably just keep doing it the way that I'm doing it. I got nothing. Y'all. I don't know how else I would handle. My mouth feels so dry. I don't know how else to handle a situation like this. You know what I'm saying? I am headed to hot yoga. Oh my gosh. Have you guys been watching Love is Blind? I want to do a review so bad, y'all. I want to do a review for y'all so bad. But then it's also like, every time I think about the work behind it, I'm like, ugh. Like, if you're going to do it, you got to do it, right? If you're going to do it, you got to do it. But am I going to get into, like, because if I do it, I'm going to have to go back and watch it all over again and kind of take notes, right? I'm wondering, can I combine 1 through 6 into just one maybe hour-long video, 45 minutes to hour-long video? The only problem, like, for me versus some other people, is y'all already know my review is not going to be just a review. I'm going to drop some healing shit in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to drop some healing shit in there, because, baby, AD, girl, sis said, if the red flags, she said something about if the red flags are flagging, she's gonna polish her nails red right along with it and go with it or something. And I was like, baby, and that's exactly what the hell she did, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Clay ass was red flagging. Now, she as well have some, I ain't even gonna knock y'all, she is a social butterfly, but I don't know where the social butterfly energy comes from based on her actions. It's very, very concerning. And I'm wondering if that's going to be a problem later down the line. See, I want to tell y'all. I just want to get into it. I might do it, y'all. If I could make it one video, I might. I just feel like, I'm like, girl, you just showing everything up on your YouTube right now. I am. So, like, you know, I did one time see a video where they were saying that your YouTube channel should be like a, what was they saying? Basically, you should try different formats of things. Ooh, I can't stand when somebody speeds up on me, y'all. I hate that. But yeah, they were basically saying that you should definitely, where we going? That you should definitely make it a channel that has like multiple formats of videos. But then it's also like you're gonna have different audiences. You know what I'm saying? So people who, it's gonna confuse the algorithm for me is what I'm thinking. I already threw in my little �ฑ𝐤𝐤𝐞 video, y'all. So it's like that's gonna kind of like trick the algorithm too. And then, girl, that sounds so Baltimore-ish. It's gonna, and she is not from Baltimore. it's going to trick the algorithm a little bit too, and may hamper some of my healing chats from getting the reach it needs to get. I don't know.
Love yours. No such thing. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. Heart beating fast, let a nigga know that he alive. Fake niggas mad, snakes in the grass, let a nigga know that he arrived. Don't be sleeping on your level, cause it's beauty in the struggle, nigga. It's beauty in the struggle, nigga. Yeah. It's beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success. Hear my words and listen to my signal of distress. I grew up in the city and know sometimes we had less. Compared to some of my niggas down the block, man, we were blessed. And life can't be no fairy tale, no once upon a time. But I be goddamn if a nigga don't be trying. So tell me, mama, please, why you be drinking all the time? Cause all the pain he brought you still linger in your mind. Cause pain still lingers on mine. On the road to riches, listen, this is what you'll find. The good news is, nigga, you came a long way. The bad news is, nigga, you went the wrong way. Being broke is better, life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Think being broke is better, life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. For what's money without happiness? Or hard times without the people you love? Though I'm not sure what's about to happen next. I ask for strength from the Lord above, cause I've been strong so far, but I can feel my grip loosening. Quick, do something before you lose it for good. Get it back and use it for good, and touch the people how you did like before. I'm tired of living with demons cause they always inviting more. Think being broke was better. Now I don't mean that phrase with no disrespect to all my niggas out there living in debt, cashing minimal checks. Turn on the TV, see a nigga Rolex, and fantasize about a life with no stress. I mean this shit sincerely. And as a nigga who was once in your shoes, living with nothing to lose, I hope one day you hear me. Always gonna be a bigger house somewhere, but nigga feel me. Long as the people in that motherfucker love you dearly. Always gonna be a whip that's better than the one you got. Always gonna be some clothes that's fresher than the ones you rock. Always gonna be a bitch that's better out there on the tours, but you ain't never gonna be happy till you love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love no such thing. No such thing. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love no such thing. No such thing.
I'm really stuck here with this train going. I don't know how I'm gonna get out of here. Like, I really probably could have went the other way, but how long is the train gonna be?
Just really stuck out to me as something that, like, this is exactly what I want.
Let me tell y'all. I ain't never in my life vomited after a workout, honey. I did it to myself. I'm gonna tell y'all. This is some embarrassing stuff, okay? So, we working out. We down to the end of the Pilates class, y'all. What is going on here, people? I probably should have bought my ass out here because now the bus ain't gonna be able to get. Oh, that was not smart. Yeah. Okay, go. Ooh, go. Okay. Whew. Anyway, y'all. So, we down to the last maybe 10 minutes of Pilates. And y'all know me, I had to step out. I'm telling y'all, I be having to step out and get some air, y'all. So I had to step out, get some air.
Okay, as I edit this, I'm like, girl, how many times you gonna wipe your nose? Y'all, I promise I don't do that white stuff. Now, some green, if you know what I mean. Rock with me, y'all know I just said I got sick in that bathroom.
I go back in, we doing like the last set of exercises, right? Did that, and then she went into this like squat, arms to the side motion, right? I'm gonna show y'all a squat. And baby, Beaver's on the front, Beaver's on the line, right? Oh, I think I was supposed to turn down in here. Beaver's on the line, y'all. And I woke up like this. Baby. I was like, By the time that thing was done, y'all, I said, ooh, I ain't feeling good. I walked out of there so fast, got to the bathroom, was vomiting like crazy. Showing off. I wasn't even showing off, y'all. That's the thing. I wasn't even showing off. I struggled through the whole class, so I couldn't have been showing off in the last 5 minutes. But I was just like feeling the move. I was feeling the music. I was like, yeah, last chance to get your all. Shit, I probably shouldn't have did that. I'm recovered now, but like, I ain't never worked myself out to the point of getting sick. Never did it. Did it today. I'm ready to go home and lay down now, y'all. I wanted to go hit the grocery store real quick. It ain't looking like that's gonna happen. Oh my God, y'all see my hair? Listen, I put it up in the hair bow halfway through because I was looking crazy because I was on the floor and I was laying back and I was getting smashed or whatever. So it's this pose called Wonder Woman that we were doing. And I'm gonna tell y'all, for a minute, I laid there and I thought to myself, I wonder.
This move is called Wonder Woman. And immediately after I got into it, I started thinking, I wonder why we let people's opinions invade our sacred space. I wonder why we lose self-trust. I wonder why we speak unkindly to ourselves. I wonder why sometimes we don't feel capable or deserving. I wonder when more women will want to fall in love with themselves again. And I wonder when the algorithm will send them to my page.
It was a good class. It was full to capacity again, as usual. What I can tell y'all that I'm proud of, because you know I have often talked about my social anxiety, and I've often talked about me as an introvert and how I just really don't talk to people. Like, I'm one of them people who can go somewhere and sit by myself, enjoy my company, and go home and meet nobody and communicate with nobody, which is very, very unhealthy, right? Somehow I think my friendliness made this guy think maybe I was interested, and I was just like, bro, like, he wasn't even my type. But he hurried up and dropped wife on me like I was trying to holler, which was weird. And the crazy part about it is we shouldn't feel like a man mentioning his wife is weird, right? We shouldn't. But it felt weird, even though my intent was never to talk to this guy in that manner. I just happened to go outside for a break. Remember I told you guys I went outside for the first time, and he was out there getting water. And he moved out of my way so I can go past. And I said, no, I'm not going past. I just need to get some air real quick. And he was like, yeah, that class is like wearing me out. I was like, yeah, this is my second time. He said, this is my first. And so I asked him if he had tried drip. And he was like, no. And I was like, oh, that's worse. Try drip. I was like, I haven't been back yet or whatever. And he was like, oh, yeah, I have to try it. I have to tell my wife about it. And I was just like, yeah, make sure you do that. And it was just like, okay. But anyway, again, we shouldn't really feel like a man mentoring his wife is weird, but sometimes it feels like you're being like, you can't holler at me, and it's like, I didn't mean, that wasn't my intention. Like, I can't have a brief conversation with a guy in passing because he's married. I don't know. Is that how that works? I'm no home wrecker, so I don't go by home wrecking. I don't know. I don't always think about those factors and things. I know wives would like to protect their household by right, from women who don't care about marriage, but I'm not really thinking about that. And at the time I'm having any conversation with a man, to be honest, because I can almost guarantee you more times often than not, my desire to holler at you is probably not the case. I'd be forgetting to cut my Apple Watch off, y'all. But yeah, anyway, class was good. And then, so back onto my social anxiety and introvert ways. So I have been to several classes. I have not exchanged information with any young ladies, but I have met them, had conversation with them. The girl today, her mat was next to mine. We exchanged a few words or whatever. And when she was leaving, she was like, nice to meet you, whatever. So, baby steps. Baby steps. But the more important aspect of it is, I told y'all when I was going to the studio, I was gonna make sure these people knew me by name when I walked in the room, y'all. I'm about to lose y'all. when I walked in the room, these people was going to end up knowing me by name. Now, what might help is the fact that I'm the only one with a camera in that joint consistently. It is what it is. But I'm starting to get more and more questions of people who actually have the desire to record themselves. So that is actually good. So today, one of the yoga teachers came over to me, and I've actually taken her flex yoga, which is like hot yoga class, several times already. And so she came over and she was like, hey, Ebony, I wanted to ask you, like, how do you record or whatever, because her phone doesn't have a lot of memory. So I essentially told her, like, I had to get a whole new phone. I was like, I used to record on my camera, but the camera kind of dies, I guess, because of the heat. Doesn't die, but it cuts off because of the heat. At first I was thinking it was dying, then I realized when I went and put it outside and let it cool off and bring it back in, I could finish recording the class. So it was definitely overheating. For whatever reason, my phone just goes, it records the whole thing, right? So I was telling her that I got a new phone. We exchanged some words, and basically I kind of made some light plans, nothing solid. I told her I'd hit her up on Instagram or whatever, light plans of recording us together, taking one of the other young ladies' class that I have taken before as well, or me recording her a little bit as she teach. She doesn't mind the teaching, me recording her as she teach while I go in a class. Maybe I won't record myself that day, but she does want some footage of herself. And so I told her, you know, well, maybe I can go to a class, I can record us both, you know, and that way I can still give the studio some footage while also, you know, giving you some footage of yourself and so on. So yeah, girl, like, your girl's being known by name. They see me like, hey, Ebony, hey, girl. But I did make a point that before I took anybody's class, I introduced myself. I told them that I was an ambassador for the studio, mainly because, you know, I'm sitting in there, I'm the only one with a camera, and I don't want the presence of my camera to seem like an inconvenience because it's a personal thing. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if they know that I'm recording for the studio as well, that it removes that I'm bringing a camera in just to record for personal purposes. And like today, like in this Pilates class, it's really hard to record in Pilates class, mainly because it is it's packed. Like, it is super packed. So trying to get my camera at a certain angle and stuff like that, it's not like it could be like right up on me. Got to be out a little ways so that I can catch myself standing up and I can catch myself on the floor. But of course, flex isn't like that, but flex is a consistent routine. So where it's gonna look great when I, you know, go to a few more classes and you could see the difference in how I started and where I am now, essentially it's the same routine. It's not nothing new being added. Versus Pilates, there's a different routine every time I go to hot Pilates. So I'm getting essentially different footage. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all, I mean, like I said, that's my goal, especially with, you know, what my future plans is career-wise. It's important that I do network and become friends with other yoga teachers. I really need to build my tribe, if I'm going to build a tribe, with people who align with what my future goals are. So it was kind of exciting. It was like a pat on the back, you know. She didn't seem scared to come talk to me, because sometimes I'm not the most approachable person. And if y'all don't know that, y'all can go look at the video where I talk about being the unapproachable friend, because we don't do that ugly shit around here. But yeah, Pilates was good with the exception of me vomiting afterwards. But, you know, maybe I lost a pound. maybe I threw up a pound. I don't know. Oh, girl, it was terrible. It was really terrible. Hey, y'all. So it is a Tuesday, work from home day. I have so much to do. So y'all just gonna have to vibe with me today real quick. So I didn't get on camera. I don't know if it was a week or two ago. I went to child support court again, y'all. Now my gut told me it just wasn't gonna be a good day. And so I was like, yeah, let me not get on camera for this, because it's just, I'm not feeling like it's going to be a point to this, right? And lo and behold, I go in there, y'all, and I'm sitting there and sitting. First of all, I'm sitting there. And I think that I might not have been as irritated had they not wasted a whole hour of my damn life, okay? I can't get that hour back. Do you know how much I make per hour? Between all the stuff I do, like, I couldn't get the hour back. So anyway, I sat there, and then when they called us all in, like after an hour waiting in the lobby, they decided to call in everybody that was remaining for this particular courtroom who had cases at this particular time. So I go in there, and they let this Spanish guy go before me. And this Spanish guy needed a translator. Now, y'all, I'm sorry, but for every one sentence in American language, it's like 4 in Spanish. And so that shit was driving me crazy. Like, I was just like, oh my God, can we please? I like patience. Y'all, the crazy part about it is I like patience, yet I be yelling at my 3-year-old to have some patience. But, you know, I'm working through that. So, anyway, the Spanish guy, girl, he just kept saying, I don't have a job. I don't have a job. Fast forward, he's like, oh, I pay child support for another child or whatever, right? So they call themselves like factoring that in. It didn't take that much off, but factoring that in, and then the paperwork that he showed, they were like, oh, this is not a child support. This is not a child support, whatever they were saying, right? Order. This isn't a child support order. It is a restraining order. So I'm like, son, like, you out this joint abusing women, making babies, don't want to work a job, talk about you. Like, it was so stressful. And it was just like, they just kept like, okay, well, it's only like $17 a day. Are you able to pay that? Blah, 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 blah. And he just kept saying, I don't have a job right now. I don't have a job right now. And it's just like, get a fucking job. Anyway, so of course, by the time he finished, I was a little irritated. Sis donor ain't show up, y'all, as usual, which he's just not gonna show up. Like, he's that person. He's going to ignore this until it bites him in the ass, and it is what it is. Not my problem at this point in time. Honestly, it took me a while to file because of the abusive nature of some of the things that he has said to me. I really needed to make sure I was in a stronger place before I went and fought this battle, number one. And number two, I really didn't need the money as bad, y'all. Like, I've been blessed. Now, don't get it twisted. In the beginning, at some point, I did lose my job. Like, during COVID, I did lose my job. Not once, but twice. But I have a supportive family. I have the universe on my side. I have God on my side. So I was able to bounce back in a very positive manner. You know what I'm saying? And so I say that to say I don't need the money. But let me tell you why I'm doing it. Now, I'm doing it for her. And I remind myself, because y'all, I don't have the energy to fight this. Like, I got stuff to do, honey. Stuff to do. And going to child support court every freaking couple of months ain't it. It just ain't it. But I have been told by women who mothers forfeited child support and just took care of them that they were disappointed in that. And that they wish their mothers had not did that. They wish their mothers would have held their fathers accountable. And so with that being said, that's what I'm doing. I've also heard from a man before that he had one baby mama who didn't press him out, and he had another baby mama who did and held him to the fire, and he had much more respect for the baby mama who did hold him to the fire. Now, am I doing this to get his respect? Absolutely not. I'm saying that just, you know, it may hit somebody else differently. It may feed somebody else. It may give somebody something to think about. I can care less about this man's respect at this point in time. So, anyway, I'm in child support court, and they said that they are going to reschedule it because, reset it, I guess that's their term, reset it, because the sheriffs didn't fill out the paperwork correctly. Now, while I'm sitting in child support, I was enlightened to some things that I had already suspected, that just really honed in on the fact that I need to get comfortable in this villain season. I need to get comfortable in this villain era. So as I work today, that is what I'm going to chat about with you guys here and there. Like, I do want to talk some Love is Blind at some point, but I definitely, when I probably get into me doing the waist beats, I will talk about, you know, how to survive your villain era, because it ain't lit yet, but it's gonna be, baby. It's gonna be. So yeah, y'all, I originally wanted to do this video, and I wanted to title it how to survive your villain era, like Melody Holt. But y'all, I don't know, because sis is getting, like, she has a heavy backing, and they're like striking all the YouTube channels that are in support of Melody, and I'm concerned about that. And I don't got time to have my shit strike for no goddamn body. Melody making her money, I need to make mine, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna get into a little bit of self-care real quick, because I'm going to try to dermaplane my skin, y'all, my face. I'm gonna try. Y'all pray I don't cut myself. Like, I shouldn't even said that shit. I really shouldn't have said that shit. Let's get into it. Okay, y'all, let's dig into Love is Blind. So, I don't even have notes. I'm just going to talk off the cuffs, you know what I'm saying, about a few things. We just going to catch up the season, because the new episodes come out tomorrow. So, first, Matt, y'all. Matt stepped on the scene and chose violence, y'all. The way he walked out on Sarah Ann, I was like, bruh. And then going to turn around and tell somebody that he asking the questions he didn't think that they was going to ask him any question. It's like, what, sir? You do realize this is an exchange of energy, right? This is an exchange of communication. This is not a you interviewing somebody and giving your and hiring somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I really be feeling like low key did he think that, because we know he knew AD was black, right? So it's kind of awkward to me, or kind of like weird to me, that you come across these Caucasian girls, or girls that you're probably more aligned with dating, and you shade them, but then you get with AD, and all of a sudden now you want to be open and shit. I really felt like he thought he was going to be able to finesse AD. I really do, especially based on the way he handled things, with the fact that he turned around and told AD the same thing that he was telling what was that other girl name? Amber. Oh yeah, Amber, right? The same thing that he was telling Amber. It's just weird to me. It's just really weird to me. AD and Clay. I love that AD is really aware of her unhealed ways. I hate that it seems like she's accepting it instead of working on it. Like, you keep saying these things like, I paint my nails the red to match the red flags, I'm a fix a hoe, I be like, practice on me. And it's like, sis, if you aware of this, like, are you aware how much this is hampering your ability to find love? Like, I promise y'all, when I decided I needed to figure out what I was doing wrong, and when I was able to hone into those things, I wanted to do better. Like, I needed to change some things. I had to get out of my comfort zone of doing what I thought was working for me, and realized that it was actually sabotaging me. And I made those changes. Now, that being said, is it easy? Hell nah, y'all. When I tell you, the moment you set boundaries, that your shit gets real quiet around here, it gets real quiet. But I'm okay with that. I am so okay with that. Also, the way Clay acted when she told him about the situation with Matthew was hella, hella, hella a red flag, y'all. It was a red flag. Like, The way that ego came up out of him, the way that joint was like, that ego fragile. That being said, y'all, when the couples got together at the vacation, I'm gonna be all over the place, y'all. When the couples got together on their little vacation or whatever, and Chelsea ass decides she's feeling insecure, and she wants to point out the fact that, oh, AD, how'd you get that ass? And wants to say what Jimmy said. I knew that was her insecurity, y'all, being triggered. But the way AD reacted to Jimmy was very, very concerning, y'all. I'm sorry. I love AD. Listen, I'm still rooting for her, okay? I'm still rooting for her because I tend to give grace to people that their aspects of their healing isn't necessarily projected constantly on other people. Prime example would be Chelsea. Chelsea's unhealed ways is constantly being projected onto other people. And she's manipulative, okay? I'm not getting that from AD. AD is aware of her unhealed ways, but it's not causing her to abuse other people. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like how she handled it. I feel like I wish she would have checked them and just, kind of told them that wasn't appropriate. I didn't like them being able to sexualize her in that manner, and she kind of went with it. But she also did the same thing with Laura, essentially with this bean dip thing. Even though her and Clay both told Laura and Jeremy that it was inappropriate and they didn't like it. Girl, Laura did that shit over there in the pods and you let her? Cause I wish she would come in my titty. Like, girl, who gave you permission to touch my private part? You done lost your damn mind. Like, I'm even easy on smacking my girlfriend's asses when we be out, like, dancing and stuff. Like, I know who I can do it with and who I can't do it with. You know what I'm saying? And if you a stranger, I'm damn sure not doing it. Also, when Jimmy, then walked over to AD and started talking to AD, I feel like she was engaging too much. Like, you're a whole fiance and he's a whole fiance to somebody else, right? Few things. One, I didn't like the way that she was telling him he looked good. Like, girl, what? I didn't like that. I didn't like, and like, it was firm behavior to me because Jimmy's like, oh yeah, because I'm not trying to look good for you or some shit he said. Like, what are y'all doing here? I didn't like the way she allowed him to hold her hand up so he can get a better look. Didn't like that. And I didn't like that she said she loved the conversation and hoped to get to talk to him again soon or whatever. I didn't like any of that. And my thing is, we just saw how fragile Clay's ego is. I'm telling you now, in their future, Clay gonna spaz out on that over-friendly behavior. He like it now because he like the attention it brings when AD comes in the room. She's a social butterfly. She comes in the room. Everybody wants to see AD. Everybody wants to see AD. He eating it up now. But that being a little too friendly-ish, he gonna spaz out. And I'm gonna tell you right now, he is a fuck boy trying to do good. Kind of. Trying to good. And the reason I say kind of is because I do notice some of his manipulative ways. Like, fuckboys have a tendency, y'all, to tell you all their flaws and what to expect from them. But in a manner where it sounds like they're trying to do better, right? And if you're a healer or empath, you're gonna eat it up. And you're gonna wanna heal them. You're gonna wanna help them. I'm telling you from experience, y'all. Because then when it's all said and done and this nigga done screwed you over, everybody gonna be looking like, well, you knew what you was dealing with. He told you. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. So anyway, I didn't like that with AD. Y'all, there's so much that happened. Chelsea. Let's get into Chelsea and Jimmy, y'all. Okay, Jimmy is trying. Chelsea, you're a liar. You're a liar, and you knew. I said I wasn't gonna go in on Chelsea. So let me just make this really, really quick, because if I keep talking about Chelsea, I'm finna go in on Chelsea, and I don't want to go in on Chelsea. Give her some grace. Give her some grace. Give her some grace. Chelsea, I'm gonna say this. What we did know was you knew exactly what you was doing when you said you looked like Megan Fox. Because you said that shit right on the cuffs of Jimmy, saying that he was there to seek out who his best connection was. Not saying it was you. You was like, oh, let me wrap this up. Oh, Kenneth and Brittany. Now, y'all, I can't remember this dude's name to save my life. The video I actually recorded that had no sound. So, lucky for Kenneth, I now know his name. Kenneth's phone activity, borderline disrespectful. Let's keep it above. You're a principal. I ain't saying it don't require some off hours work. Some work done off hours, but it's not given I'm super, super busy to this degree, okay? I did notice that a lot of his behavior changed after AD said asked him about Brittany being able to mother, right? And it's a little frustrating because hands down, Brittany was probably the least problematic woman on this show, right? That we've seen, okay? And she deserves so much better. Her communication skills were up to par. She was caring, I get it. I get that it is hard for us, especially as Black people, to partner with a Caucasian, right? However, you knew she was right from the jump. And a lot of times it's not about what's easy, it's about what's worth it. And I feel like he didn't even give it a chance. But although Brittany might be hurt right now, Brittany, you dodged the bullet. You dodged the bullet. Bro can't communicate. He's passive aggressive. He's manipulative. He's a gaslight. Like, it's just so many things that was exposed. And I knew he was problematic when I seen that hair. I'm sorry. But like, I ain't doing a hair. Like, how old is he? I ain't doing a hair. But yeah, and the way that he broke up with her, it was just like so out of the blue. Like, he just woke up and was like, I ain't doing this shit no more. And when she opened the gates to discuss, what was going on with them, he was like, this is my out. I'm getting out of here. And I felt so bad for her. Like, I felt so bad for her, even though I know rejection is protection, honey. Rejection is protection. I know that. But I know she was hurt. Because she really put all her chips into him and things were great. So it's like to have that cold turkey turnaround. I've been there. And again, rejection is protection. So, yeah, y'all. That is there anybody else? I feel like I'm missing so many people in so many situations. That bean dip shit was crazy, y'all. Laura, don't do that shit to no other Black woman. You gonna fuck around and find out. you gonna fuck around and find out real fast. AD was on camera, so AD already knows she wasn't trying to look like the angry Black woman. But I'm gonna tell you right now, don't do that shit in real life. Don't do it. No cameras, no evidence, honey. Inappropriate. So inappropriate. Y'all, I felt like, Chelsea did herself in by choosing Jimmy instead of Matt. And I knew exactly why. Before we even got further into the episodes where she told her friends, oh, yes, he was a hot commodity. He was wanted by the... I already knew that was why she chose him. Girl, the insecurities are heavy with this one. cis insecurities are loaded, honey. Like, I wish I would choose the man that everybody wants who can't make a decision about me. Can't make a decision about me over the guy who's sure he wants to be with me. But let's not get too excited, because as much as I liked, what was his name? Child, what was that guy's name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about. It's my Love is Blind. Amy and Johnny seems pretty solid, even though, now they had a drama with Johnny being paranoid about her getting pregnant and the condom just ain't good enough. I don't know. I don't know, Johnny. I feel you, though. At the end of the day, I ain't even gonna complain too much about Johnny's behavior, because there's way too many men out here making babies, not caring and not taking care of them. So this man is adamant he don't want that, and he gonna be double down on the protection of it all. I'm not even gonna knock him, for real. I'm not even gonna knock him. Jessica. Y'all, Jessica's story was so sad. But Jessica read Jimmy his fucking rights. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't really knock her, even though I felt like it was a little egotistical and I was kind of put off with it. Here's the matter. Number one, she had a right to be mad, because you had no business going to go tell Chelsea you loved her after telling Jessica you wasn't going to tell nobody you loved them just yet. And so without breaking things off with Jessica, she had a right to be mad. Number two, she right. At the end of the day, she is probably right. He gonna see Jessica, which he did, request her as a friend. Even though now, in real life, he's coming out saying that Jessica is not who she showed up on camera to be. We've seen glimpses of that. Like, I've seen glimpses of her ick ways, I'm gonna be honest, in the last few episodes that aired. But she was right when she said you gonna choke when you realize, because Chelsea's pretty in her own right, but looks ain't everything. Love is blind, right? Love is blind. Anyway, I feel like Jimmy and Jessica essentially had a better connection to begin with before Chelsea pulled out her ace. You know what I'm saying? Out the bag. So that's pretty much everything. Oh, almost forgot, y'all. The two crazy parts. So far, it has ended with Laura meeting with, what's that girl name? Meeting with Jessica, and basically telling Jessica that she feels like Jimmy would like to see her, kind of getting in Jessica's head to kind of get an idea of how Jessica is feeling about Jimmy and so on. And then also finding out that Jeremy snuck out, went out to a club, knew that Sarah Ann was going to be there, which I feel like that was set up. And then when and then they went to go talk and was talking till 5 a.m., he said. But Laura said, honey, you was not at that restaurant because you had your locator on. You was across town where Sarah Ann lives, baby. That's the way it ended. That is the way it ended. Love is Blind. I expected to watch this and feel like, now I know this is not what I'm going to get. But I hate that I felt like this show in the beginning was to give people hope. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to these relationships. But the way that it's ending and the way that the seasons has been going, this shit ain't do nothing but traumatize people in regards to relationships. Because, like, what is this fuckery? What is this? So, anyway, y'all. Matt's the villain, Laura's the villain. I feel like everybody's a villain at this point in some regard. It is what it is. So y'all, my hair is like, I meant to tell y'all, so I've been using new stuff, y'all, and I think I like it so far. We're gonna see. So the girlie's been using this, and then the girlie's been telling me about this. Especially after that one video where I went to go get, why my hair was cute before hot yoga and then crazy after hot yoga. So anyway, y'all, that is what I'm using now on my hair. And I can't say that I don't like it. I do. It's a little crunchier than I would like, but, it's not as crunchy as it normally is. So, Holla.
Okay, y'all, so it was a toss-up between Meg and Melody, and I chose Melody because I can kind of relate to her story more, and also I'm able to get more of an in-depth view of her life versus Meg. We really only see her when she's on social media or perform. So quick backstory to Melody. Melody is on Love and Marriage Huntsville, and she pitched the show, brought on a few couple friends with her, and some other individuals as well. Well, into the first season of the show, her husband was caught cheating on her with his mistress for like 3 years. Fast forward, she forgave him, had another baby with him, and found out during COVID that he was still cheating and had ultimately got his mistress pregnant. After this, Melody pretty much found out that the couples that were around her were kind of aware of this was going on, and it seemed to be like everybody that she brought on the show was turning their back on her, including these couple friends as well, at a time where you would think that you would actually be getting more support. So because I am in my villain era, I wanted to study Melody and how she processed all of this and how she kind of pushed through, because one thing for sure and two things for certain, sis was going to win at all costs. So I had to remind myself that I've been through divorce, you guys. Divorced, the family hated me when it was all said and done. Like, I'm not new to this, you know what I'm saying? I'm not new to this, but for whatever reason, it was kind of ruffling my feathers. And I think part of the reason it's ruffling my feathers is because, I'm really trying to be in this Zen space right now. I'm really trying to move high vibrational. And sometimes, just sometimes, y'all, it's like, just let me clap out once. Let me show people what I'm capable of, because they don't really know. They just think I'm this love is life person, when reality is I'm with the shit sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I was just like, okay, not to derail my journey. Yes, you have this confirmation now. You are in your villain era, sis. How you gonna handle it? So I started doing my research, and one thing that came to mind was, y'all, Melody Holt. Melody Holt. Now, I'm doing this because if you know me, then you know I love reality TV, right? Love reality TV. I'm very much, very picky about what I watch now. So, like all the Love and Hip, I don't do all the Love and Hip Hops, and for real, some of these Love and Marriages can count their days as well. But I still love Melody, so I'm still in it as of right now. However, we're about 5 or 6 seasons in, and with the exception of season 1, Melody has been the villain, y'all. Melody has been the villain, honey, okay? As I was sitting here trying to figure out, okay, this would actually be a really good video to share, because this is fresh to me, and this is things that I need to research how to slay this villain era the way I needed to in my healing journey, where I'm still being true to myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm still being true to myself. I'm still protecting myself. And if I gotta check a motherfucker, I can check a motherfucker high vibrationally. So let's get into the tips. Self-reflection. So again, remember I told you guys, I had to check myself before I could react. I had to make sure it wasn't just me. Like, am I in a villain era, or am I being hella sensitive because the situation is hella sensitive, right? So I really held back on giving it too much energy. I gave it thought. I'm not going to deny I gave it thought, but I did not give it too much energy because, again, I wanted to make sure it wasn't a me thing. It's not a me thing. But yeah, self-reflecting. You have to own your own behavior. We're not perfect. Sometimes you can agitate a situation. You can agitate a situation sometimes with your behavior. Sometimes your behavior may have triggered a string of things that now made you the villain. I'm not going to ever say Melody is innocent and that she has not done anything, because I'm going to tell you right now, as a fellow Scorpio, we're naturally bred to sting. Like, we come with stingers, you guys. And the amount of effort it takes to not react, and to really think about how to react to things, and to think about how to react to it in the healthiest manner, which is why we have to be intentional about that, doesn't come
easy, shall I say. It takes some intention behind it. Like, okay, pause, let me self-reflect, let me be more self-aware, let me think about how I contributed to this situation and how I could best finish that shit. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, we're going to go into the next one, which is explore your shadow. So again, like I said, that was me exploring my shadow. I'm acknowledging the things about myself that I know are the dark sides of me, right? You should also acknowledge the things about you that are repressed and denied. So this is one of the things that I repress a little bit. I repress it just a little bit, but I repress it in a manner that's healthy and allows me to grow, because I understand that while that's part of me, it doesn't have to show up all the time. And while that's part of me, it's something that I can work on and kind of address in a way that's more high vibrational. Like I said, I'm more intentional when I think before I react now. So it's always self-awareness first, self-reflection first, and then how can I best react to this in the most healthiest manner. Now that we have accepted that we are the villains, right? We have accepted that we are in our villain era. Another aspect of slaying your villain era, like Melody, would be to know who you are and be unapologetic about it. Now, one thing I can tell you is Melody is Melody is Melody, and she shows up as Melody every single time, okay? So much so that while she is massively hated on the show, she is publicly loved by millions. Melody has been relentless when it comes to the self-love aspect of it. When I tell you, she gonna show up for her and she gonna show up for her kids regardless. I mean, some of the things that she went through, I was surprised that she didn't kind of like go into a hole for a while. But honey girl be showing up and she is living life despite. And a few things that I've also noticed when Melody has been surviving her villain era, she has set boundaries and stood firm on them. So a lot of the reasons why she has been, I'm gonna say hated, but kind of like disliked or had fallouts with some of new cast members that she introduced to the show, was because I guess they were not expecting Melody to set firm boundaries when it came to her time once she was no longer taping. I can imagine taping with individuals who did not particularly care for me can be rather exhausting. So when the show ended, she cut off ties with everyone, and some of those people felt slighted or offended, shall I say, in that regard. Prioritizing pleasure is a thing for her as well. So she has so many businesses, you guys. She does. But you'll often see her on vacation with her kids, by herself, maybe a bae, secret bae. Either way, she definitely rewards herself for all of her work. And it's so important that you take that time out. We can get stuck in this rat race and then tend to continue to give to others and not give back to ourselves, and not take the time to do things that we find pleasure in. Another aspect of surviving your villain era is to learn how to take instead of giving. And if you're a giver and you're a people pleaser, this may be a little hard for you because you're so used to giving, you're so used to being there for other people. You find it hard to accept people to be there for you. You find it hard to accept things from people, and you find it hard to take things from people. So again, take what you need, sis. Take what you need. Maybe you need to just stop giving and allow yourself to receive. Just stop giving. Take a moment and say, right now, I'm in an era where I have to be still and receive. Walking away from things that no longer serves you, kind of self-explanatory, already told you. Her husband cheated, she walked away. Friendships that aren't feeding her, she walks away. Speaking up for yourself. If you've ever watched the show, it's no secret that Melody is, I think it may be one reunion where she kind of minced words and she didn't say much. And I think she was kind of at her wits in there, but she has always been very vocal with speaking up for herself. She has not shied away with defending herself, despite whatever she's going to face, whether it be social media, whether it be her colleagues, whether it be her in-laws. She has not had a problem speaking up for herself. And that is so important in this journey, because a lot of times, especially if you're dealing with narcissists who may have flying monkeys, having to go toe-to-toe with multiple people on behalf of one individual is a very, very hard thing. But it's very important that you, if nobody is your advocate, that you are your advocate. Not taking on more to be just a team player. Now, we're going into season 5 or 6. I think. I'm probably wrong. It may be more than that. I don't know. But either way, she has showed up and showed up and showed up. And I'm gonna be honest, it's been at least 3 seasons of people waiting for her to quit, waiting for her to walk away from this. And while I know she is very capable and have the ability to do so, she has showed up as a team player for the sake of what she birthed. And so I do think it's very unfair for her to walk away. But I feel like, while I feel it would be very unfair to her to walk away right now, and after she built so much, it's like, kill them off and leave. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, y'all. Sorry. But my intuition tells me that she's not taking on more for the sake of being a team player. I feel like she's making her great escape. And anyone who has survived DV or narcissistic abuse of any sort knows what it's like to plan your great escape. You really have to be strategic about it to make sure that you're able to come up on top, to make sure your finances are in order, that you have a plan set to not cause any disruption to the life you already have. So I say that to say, again, if you're in a moment where you're feeling like the villain, it's okay, sis. It's okay. Use these tips. Use the tips that I just gave you and slay that shit. Until the next time, love yourself, protect your energy, and deal with life's bullshit with grace and gratitude.
I had a dream last night. Did everything I never do in real life. I stepped into a room, told everyone to be quiet, cause I had something to say. Blew everybody away, wear whatever I want. Dressed in a gown, everybody's like, why, where you going? Nowhere special, just going to the store. I think I'd have it all, tell you I have even more. Picking a plate, being a plate, she is unruly. Never seen her like this, didn't think it existed, no truly. Don't get in her way, she's not here to play, she'll get moody. But don't mistake this girl for being me, cause these are dream rules. This is someone else, I'm not myself, no. Cause these are dream rules. This is someone